it together. January, man, she educated you, and it actually did change my dietary habits now.
Woohoo! So happy to hear that.
Good job. Absolutely brilliant.
And how are you feeling?
I'm feeling so much better, by the way.
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
So now, like the pharmacy that I used to pass through every day for so many different reasons. Not through, but pass by. Yeah. So the other day I just passed by because it's obviously next to the favorite supermarket. He's like, "What's up, my brother?" He's like, "Mzee bano umepotea." First of all, don't call me Mzee. That I was not apologize. Okay. Because we need to talk about supplements, by the way. Dietary
That's another good topic. Yes, very good.
Okay. Now, listen, we have heard and we are used to and we have maybe engaged to experience nutritionists. Our partner, guest in studio, this and every Wednesday. She's a dietitian. All right? Nothing to do with USAID, so she'll still be here next week.
That is true. Unfortunately, I'm very sorry to hear about those people. It's very sad.
Yes, very sad.
Very sad.
Ashley Kabudha, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
We are fantastical and
fabulous.
Fabulous.
Good.
Listen, what are your handles? I like it. It's about time.
It's time.
It's
time. It's.time, THYME. Food pun intended, just like the herb.
I like that.
It's time.
And it is about that time. Listen, so we did say today, we said our topic today is, should you go gluten-free or dairy-free?
Yes.
Or should you go gluten and dairy-free?
Yeah, there
that
you go. All the questions, yes.
Now, first of all, let's be African for a minute. Okay, because you said there's no question that's too embarrassing to ask.
No.
Yes. Now, I'm Generation X, and I did tell you, like this morning, before we have discussed this, I threw out Madame Soy Milk. Okay, and I'm like, because I had to ask her, does soy milk expire? Okay, because from when we were bachelors, there was long life milk. Remember long life, and it's still there. I say remember, but it's still there. But you see. Yeah, so do I. Even though we got a fridge, because this was back in the days when we did not have one, living the single life, then hence we bought long life milk. Now I still buy it. So we're creatures of habit. That's what I'm trying to say. But now when you go to the dairy, when you go to the bakery, you are offered various food options. Even dairy, there's so many good options. You're told, would you like this pastry? Would you prefer gluten-free? And I didn't want to appear dumb and ask the question,
what is gluten?
What is gluten? And I've said, I would like to learn from talking to experts because I am not going to make Siri or Google, my friend.
Very good. I love it. Well, I'm happy to talk about it. So gluten is actually a natural protein that is found in wheat, rye, and barley products. Okay? So it is just a natural protein. And some people just happen to be allergic to it.
Okay. So I know that is, we had planned how to ask these questions, but let's just go with it.
Okay.
Why did it take so long for us to find out, I'm talking about as a human race,
yes,
that there's a problem, that gluten is not a good thing?
So it's not that gluten isn't a good thing. It's just that some people are allergic to it. Just like some people would be allergic to eggs or whatever vegetable or anything. It's an allergy just like anything else. But like I said, many times the diet industry will get a hold of this and turn it into a healthier diet, quote unquote, or a way to lose weight.
So they commercialize it.
They commercialize it, exactly. And so, yes, a gluten allergy and a gluten intolerance does exist. But do you know what that percentage is? 1% of the world's population truly has a gluten allergy.
You're talking about 1 out of every 100 humans.
Exactly.
Wow.
Not every other person you meet on the street.
So people have commercialized the damn thing.
Exactly. So that is what I'm here to do, empower people with this information. So if you do think you have the allergy, please get tested.
Right.
Then we know we should remove it from your diet, and let's do it in a healthy, balanced way, so you're not getting nutrition deficiencies, etc., etc. But just doing it because you think it's healthier or you're going to lose weight is the wrong idea.
I love it.
It's more expensive, you're at risk for nutrient deficiencies, and the list goes on.
So listen, so you see, you learn something. Definitely. You are guaranteed to do that for a better version of yourself every time Ashley's in studio. So we need you to ask those.
You can have some dairy in that diet, the low FODMAP diet. It's a bit intense.
Okay, now, man, money is becoming a bit of a problem. Okay? And times are hard. And two things that have stuck me, because we're going to, after the break, we're going to come back and talk about gluten. Right?
Yes.
That one, up to 90% of Sisi Africa are lactose intolerant.
Yes.
And only 1% people globally would have a gluten problem.
Exactly.
So there's somebody who's listening to you.
Yes.
I don't know why I picture my boy Mato. Okay. He needs the coffee.
Yes.
He cannot have it black. He might be lactose intolerant. But he'd prefer to spend that money, you know what, just a dab of milk.
Yeah.
All I need is a dab, but that's going to cause him a problem. What are the options for people who don't have color
So if,
and you're lactose intolerant?
So-
What do you recommend, Ash?
yeah, so if he's lactose intolerant
Right.
and he wants to have that milk in his coffee,
Yeah.
he may be okay with a small amount of regular milk.
Cool.
He would have to test that out for himself.
Cool.
The other thing is there's these lactase enzymes, which you can take. It's a pill you can take that gives your body more of that enzyme to help you digest and process
Very
the
good.
lactose that is found in the milk. So that could be an alternative option.
Are they over the counter?
I think so, but you would have to check with a doctor, because I'd want you to get a proper prescription for it and to understand how to take it and when to take it and if you're a good candidate for it. But that would be probably the best thing, because when we look into these plant-based alternatives, they're going to be much more expensive, to be honest.
Exactly.
And so it's either black coffee or have a little bit, so I would test it out. Can you handle that? What are your symptoms? Can you look into, those lactate or lactase, pills? You can also do lactose-free milk. Actually, I forgot about that. In Kenya, there is lactose-free cow's milk, where they have taken out the lactose or they have put in that enzyme. So then the lactose is gone. I forgot about that.
It's there in the supermarket.
It is.
there.
There's
It's
and it's
actually
local
there. I
brand.
forgot
Is it Tuzo?
I don't know, but I've seen it on
Yeah,
the
there
shelves.
is. Actually, there is. So that's also another thing that somebody could do
Mariam,
as well.
You didn't pick up the lactose-free milk, but you picked up the Bougainvillea cheese.
Yeah. I'm not lactose intolerant,
Okay.
but how dare I forget
right.
that there's lactose-free milk?
Yes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So those are the options.
So listen, wewe uko na swali? Do you have yourself a question for Ashley? We're talking about, should you go gluten-free and dairy-free? Can you do both? Well, she's basically covered the dairy bit of things. So unless you've got a question, listen, dial the number 0719012600 or get on to Spice FM KE. We are talking about Wellness Wednesday. Ashley's in the studio. Listen, so if you want to ask Madam Kibuda a question, get on there or dial that number, and then when we get back, we're gonna talk all things gluten. That's coming up next. Ashley, what's your handle again?
It's .time. THYME. Food pun intended.
Indeed. And Mariam?
At Hoiribo Mariam on X.
Hey.
Yes.
Twende kazi. Ninaenda kasoma miaka ngapi?
Come again?
Man, a Bachelor of Science PS man. She's a qualified dietitian, registered not only in good old United States of America, hapa pia Kenya too. And she's constantly, keeping herself on her toes so that she can make your life basically better. Ne? And there's always a take home. You learn something new every Wednesday. Up to 90% of us, when I say us, if you just landed on a plane you're coming out of JKIA, welcome to Kenya. Kenya kuna matata.
Hakuna matata.
Yes. But us, meaning the natives, the locals, yes, those ones you're seeing on the roadside, that's the neighbor of yours. Up to 90% of us are lactose intolerant. Mariam, I ask you, I always thought it was the coffee. Kumbe when I have kahawa, then I go and sit on the toilets. and it's Victoria Falls.
Oh man.
That could be the problem.
Also, caffeine can
you know-
increase the bowel movement, so it could be both.
I would not have known these things if Ashley did not come into the studio.
Yes, I do agree.
Now, before we talk, listen, no. Look, you've got yourself a question for Ashley. It's 0719 012 600, or get onto Spice FM. Yeah, Spice FM KE.
Yes.
Facebook, X,
Twitter.
and then Wellness Wednesday. Talk to Mademoiselle Ashley, and she'll be absolutely good to go. Listen, somebody asked a question, and Ashley has replied to you. Yes,
I will be replying to them.
He will be replying
Yes.
to you, my brother. And before we go and talk about gluten-free stuff,
Yes.
because that one, it only affects 1% of the world's population, unlike lactose intolerance, which is up to 90% of us guys. You said there's a clarification before we went.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, so if somebody does have a dairy allergy or lactose intolerance, it's really important to make sure that you're still getting a good source of calcium and vitamin D in your diet. So you may need to take a supplement because that is where we're going to get most of our calcium from. So just so people can make sure that they have healthy bones, strong teeth, things like that, especially kids.
Yes.
So we need to be mindful of that.
Okay, but talking about the nutrition, when you're talking about the lactose-free milk,
Yes.
do you lose any nutrients?
You don't. No, they literally just add the enzyme lactase that our bodies naturally make. But people with lactose intolerance don't make enough of that enzyme. So what they do is they add that enzyme to the lactose-free milk. So now it has digested that lactose for you, so you can consume it and not have the side effects, and you will get
not
all that
lose-
nutrition.
Buzz.
Very nice.
Buzz.
Great question.
Buzz. Now, speaking of great questions, here's a puzzling question. We come from the Kavirondo Basin, okay? And our folks and their forefathers used to, as kids, spend all day, every day, all right, chewing on sugar cane. Right?
Yes.
Never had no diabetes.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
But now everything, and you talk about health, that sugar's not good for you. And in fact, they're trying to make as many things as possible sugar-free. Eh?
Yes.
And some say that, it's just a gimmick. Gluten-free. So let's go back, by the way, Ashley,
Yes.
because we started
Yes.
off with this.
Yes.
Is gluten, forget gluten-free, is it healthier?
Yeah. So gluten is just a protein that is found in wheat, rye, and barley, just like any other protein.
Very good. Now, if you remove that protein,
Yes.
does it make that thing less healthier?
No. If you have gluten-free products,
Yes.
they're more likely to be processed,
Yes.
and they're more likely to have added salt and added sugar to make them taste good.
That's not what I
So
wanna
that's
hear.
the issue.
Bus.
So many times we think, it's gluten-free, it's free from this, it's free from that, it must be better for me. But many times those foods are more processed and less nutrient dense.
I like that.
And so, like I said, there is 1% of the world's population that is actually allergic to gluten, so they need to avoid it. So then these people need to be mindful about making still healthy and whole food choices that are gluten-free. So it's not just going to buy the expensive processed imported things that are gluten-free, but really realizing that we also have a lot of locally made whole food products
Yes.
that are gluten-free already by nature. Again, they're healthy for everybody, but if you need to be gluten-free, these would be good for you. So corn, maize is gluten-free. Potatoes are gluten-free. Millet, sorghum, so your uji, that's gluten-free. Amaranth, buckwheat, your rice is gluten-free. Ugali is gluten-free because it comes from corn. Arrowroots, nduma, cassava, those things are all gluten-free. So we have a lot of those things that I would rather you consume if you must be gluten-free as opposed to these very processed